we've reached the point where I'm issuing a watchman's warning to the public. The administration that's been here about a year and a half or whatever, they've now reached the point where they're engaged in aggressive efforts of taking from the people of Wilmington and giving to their friends. Now, there's been multiple meetings where I've pointed out some of this mess that goes on with real estate. At the last committee meeting, where we spent all this money to make a street, to make some people's property worth more so that they can make a fortune. That's what we got going on. We got game plans to steal our parks and give them to private organizations. The city of Wilmington's the only city that I'm aware of on the East Coast that has no public school system in its boundaries. Okay? If we're going to build a stadium, it'll be a stadium for the school that needs to be built brand new in Wilmington. Everybody all over the state has new schools that's been being built over several decades. A Wilmington kid can't graduate from public school in Wilmington. Next thing you know, Wilmington people can't go to Canby Park because that's been given to somebody or sold to somebody. And Wilmington children can't go to the park right there behind Howard High School or can't go to the stadium. We got all these things going on to take assets that belong to the people. We got folks want to spend $700,000. It's all a coordinated, you know, people always want to talk about conspiracy theories. This ain't no conspiracy theory. Folks sat down 5, 10 years ago thinking about what they wanted to do if they could buy and own the city. And there's certain people who think they own the executive and legislative branch, and they're now implementing their plan. It ain't no new plan. The effort to buy the city of Wilmington started when Mike Hare was first elected to city council. And if you don't believe me, go look at the campaign finance reports. That's when this started. And it's been a slow effort to gain control, to then economically exploit. All the people who control the development process have all been kicked out of their positions. Trevor Knight was the most professional person you could ever have as the person evaluating plans. What was done before the new administration got here was they made sure that he had to go because there were certain developers that didn't like the way he did his job in accordance with the law. The person from the fire department who was on point for economic development evaluation got bumped out the way. Didn't y'all read the newspaper about this garbage that was built on the riverfront? See, you better pay attention. But when the history is written, I've been here before, and I'm proud of my personal voting history, and I'll bring it out, and we can go through it. I'm not being part of no selling out of the people of the city of Wilmington. So if y'all see me the only person voting no, but hopefully that's not the case, but if you see it, I've sat at the table. I just came from the county where we sit at a big table, and we're looking at the whole field for all of Newcastle County. So I understand how this stuff works. This stuff ain't no accident. These things aren't independent pieces of legislation. And we need to sit down as a council because, see, we've been distracted by all of this kind of planning that's not the planning that's important. We ain't sat down as a council with a big map on the table looking at all these places where folks are planning on acquiring land,
30 seconds.
Kicking people out of the city, passing off all the land to the land bank so that city people don't have no access to benefit. Monopoly is being played. Operation
15
means
seconds.
you care about people is being ignored. And 15 years from now, every one of y'all folks going to look back and see whether you was part of cutting people's throat or supporting the people. That's all I have, Madam Chair.